Good evening. Welcome to a brand new episode of NESportscast with Ricky and Larry. As always, Rick, how's it going? How you doing? How's your weekend?
Yeah, all right, mate. Brief, obviously. It feels like, I was just saying to you there as well, just seems like it's gone really quick, doesn't it?
That's why I reminded you. That's why I asked
to
that
make
question.
things worse as well. It's like there's no more football after this now because it's international. And you just think to yourself,
Sorry, there is football, but there isn't football that we care about.
No one cares.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Come on now. Nations League, you can. No,
Nations
it's the Euro
League,
qualifiers.
literally, no one cares.
It's the Euro qualifiers, actually. So
That's what it is. Euro qualifiers, not Nation Leagues. And who was it again that you said England got? Italy and Ukraine on the last episode?
Yeah, Italy, Ukraine.
Yeah.
So,
I
don't really want to spend another pod talking about England.
No, most certainly not. We've touched on that.
Definitely
and
not.
I think everybody else agrees.
So,
although there is one thing that's popped up, apparently a bit of brief.
News. We have news, people.
We certainly do. Dun, 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 going live to Ricky, who's at Stamford Bridge.
There you go. I was just about you.
Yes, Larry. Good evening, and good evening, everyone else. I'm here at Stamford Bridge. Apparently, there's lovers' tiff between Mason Mount, the club, who are apparently saying he cannot meet up with England because he's injured. Apparently, he's fine. Obviously, we need all sides of the story, but that's what I'm hearing. There's some rumours around this could push him out of the club. This could get him to go somewhere else. And there's rumours he might go to Liverpool in the summer. Financially, the contract has been agreed on what he's asking, 240, 250 a week. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to see him go if the rumours are true. But again, this is what happens. You hear one player having a lover's tiff with a club, and all of a sudden, all of the clubs around Europe want that individual, and you think, yeah, of course.
They have to try. I mean, if they don't sell him now, then we're
going to lose him for free.
Yeah,
exactly. I'd rather make something because whatever we make will be 100% profit for the club, so we can kind of help with their finance. No, but it's more to balance the books. It's just to balance the books.
Yeah,
because if he was a fantastic player, let's say like a Harry Kane for Tottenham, and he doesn't sign, what do you call it, a contract, then obviously you lose Harry Kane for free, but you think, do you know what, tough, we need him for another year because he could get Champions League football again, or he might do something. Again, it's Spursy, but I'm just saying as an example.
The Spursian
is not Harry Kane's level.
Yeah, no, the Spursian curse is, when it takes hold of you, like The Last of Us, the cordyceps, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Paralyzed Tottenham, the Spursian curse.
Great show, by the way. Very, very good show.
Can we have another podcast where we just discuss the
I think that needs to be, that was a tremendous, I'm not that far into it. I don't think I'm as far ahead as you, so I'll just tell you where I'm at. You finished it. Okay, so no spoilers, please. I'm at the bit where the father and the son, just finished that episode, where they meet father and son.
Where
they meet Henry.
Henry, yeah.
I won't say no more in case anyone's listening and there's going to be spoilers for them, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what, I've just finished that episode. Wow.
Yeah. They're not father and son, by the way. That's his brother. The brothers.
Oh, I thought it was father and son.
No, they're brothers.
Oh, right, okay.
Henry and Sam, they're brothers.
Yeah. Speaking with sign language, I was like,
don't get me all excited because this is a sports podcast. If you want to listen to a Last of Us podcast, we will definitely do it.
Podcast.
Can I just say, right, the creators of that, they actually have a podcast directly after the episode airs. So there's not much that we can say that that people don't already know. But it's just I feel like the passion.
Just in people want to know our opinions on it. Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, it's been really good. I'm actually introducing my wife to it right now. So we're on episode 3 with Bill and Frank. We've just met Bill and Frank.
Yes.
That was a great episode. I don't think it was. Anyway, look, doesn't matter.
Anyway, welcome to NESportscast.
We think.
And scene. Right, let's go back to football. Yeah, bring us back in.
Yes. No. Look, obviously, I want to touch on the Arsenal game because it was the most recent of the games of the matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apart from the FA Cup, obviously, but whatever.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Well, apart from Man United fans and Fulham fans.
Yes. But I mean, not after, Mitrovic almost slammed the refs.
What was he doing, by the way? What was he thinking doing that?
No, you can't debate that. I know I was angry
ludicrous.
at the moment, but
but there's ways to express your anger. Like, you cannot go there and physically touch the referee. And you can touch the referee physically, but not in the way he did it. It looked like as if he tried to give him a little shoulder barge, but then he went to an elbow to the arm. And I was just like, what is he doing?
Yeah, the cross armbar.
It's just not allowed. Just not allowed. I can understand the emotions, but you know what? It could not have happened to a nicer bloke.
Yeah,
the red card. It could not have happened to a nicer bloke.
But then, obviously, Willian he got a red card as well. Marco Silva got a red card. There's 3 red cards in the team, so it's literally everyone lost their heads at that match. But Man United won. It is what it is. Whether they sold the match or they bought the match or whatever it is, that's conspiracies. We're not going to get into it.
I just wanted to quickly touch on the red card because I've just got obviously for me it's still of a salty subject on that one because Reece James got sent off against Liverpool. I don't know if you remember that when we were 1-0 up and then it was a penalty because he handled the ball on the goal line and then obviously they got the penalty and scored and you're like, but ref, you gave the pen. And maybe I'm being biased here and I'd like to get your opinion on this, but don't you think this is just again, don't shoot me for this, anyone. Just listen first. Don't you think it should be give the penalty if the team scores the goal? It's a yellow card for the player. So don't send the player off automatically. Yeah, kind of like a timeout for now. See what happens. If they miss the penalty, then you get a red card. Do you see what I mean? Like a bit like a hockey timeout, but then still with a football element into it. Like, okay, you're being sent off, wait, because it's a penalty. You deliberately handballed on the box, right? It's okay, that's cheating. I totally understand that. But for players, and I assume neutrals as well, because that game against Chelsea-Liverpool, I'm just going back to that, was a top game. Even this one, Man United-Fulham, looked like a great game. Fulham winning until, I was going to say, 70th minute or whatever until the penalty. They were very, very good.
Yeah, they were brilliant. I watched half of that match, and honestly, it was incredible. Like Fulham, I thought they were going to win it, and they came close to, but it's
actually, as I'm saying that, well, I'll listen to your opinion, but I've just said that out loud now. I know how it sounds, and it just sounds fucking ridiculous.
I agree. If you're going to give a penalty like that in that situation, I agree that you shouldn't really give a red card because they've already been punished enough. I know it sounds a bit soft.
If they score, though, isn't it? Because if they miss, then all of a sudden you're like, hold on a minute, because we could have just scored if you didn't handball. Yeah. Does that make? Do you see what I mean?
Both points,
as I just said
points,
it. Yeah,
both points. Actually, when you say it out loud,
when you say it out loud, you're like, no, hold on a minute, because then it's cheated. Like the player chose to cheat.
It's not competition. It won't be competition if it doesn't get ruled that way.
Ignore me. I will swallow my words. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible example of what they should do. But you know what?
No, it doesn't matter. Like everyone's got their opinions. That's the beauty of this.
That's why we're here for.
Not on radio. We can share our opinions as daft as they may be.
Ludicrous as they may are.
Luda, all that stuff. But look,
that was coming from my heart. But yeah, go on, my man. Let's go back to you, right? How are you feeling? Cloud 9?
Absolutely.
What was it? 3-1, 4-1? Because I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Your prediction was bang on point. I said 4-2, but they came close to 4-2, by the way, and I was just about to celebrate.
I saw Zaha's chance, by the way, the way he sent Ben White left and right, because I watched the quick highlights, and I was like, wow, love what Zaha did there. Ben White was like, where's he going?
Ben White got taken off, Zaha had a couple of moments where he was very dangerous, but again, maybe just the confidence on that finishing. If he was able to finish, I think this would have been a very different game. That being said, we definitely dominated, at least the first half anyway. We dominated the first half, just everywhere, passing the ball. There's some intricate passing to get out of, defending when they get pressured by the
pressured in.
It was just brilliant. Odegaard, I know, obviously, if you remember, I've had my reservations about Odegaard. It's like, okay, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but there's some moments where he ghosts. But in this match, he was the man. Like he was, even though Saka scored twice, but he was the man. So it was. I can't say anymore. Nothing that's not already been said. Team chemistry was incredible. Kieran Tierney came in the second half. He again did a brilliant job in that Zinchenko role, which is weird because obviously you wouldn't associate Tierney with that. But that's what he's doing. He's adapting his game.
Adapted his game. Good. Well,
and he's 100% committed to the team from what you can see. And for me, I don't want to get rid of Kieran Tierney at any point. So that's I've got my own biases for Tierney, but I think he did a great job to sort of come back. There was a moment, maybe 85th or 88th minute or something like that, where he just did an incredible tackle, sort of shoulder barged. I think it was Schlupp at that point, or Edouard. It was Hudson Edouard. Shoved him a little bit, a little shoulder badge, took the ball. It was incredible. It was. I was happy to see it because there's been a lot of talk about is he gonna? Has his head gone down because it doesn't get picked? Hey, no head went down there. He just smashed it.
Good, and that's what you want, don't you? You want your players. Okay, you've lost your position, but rather than your head going down, work for your position back. Competition is healthy within the team.
Yeah, and the good thing is with Tierney, if he adapts and has a little bit of not talent, but a little bit of skill sort of developed in that midfield role, then he'll have that whole package for the left-hand side. He definitely has the defending. If he gets to the passing and the sort of vision, not like Zinchenko, because Zinchenko plays as a midfielder really, most of the time.
Just for Ukraine, which we will see in the next 2 games for. So
he doesn't have to travel anywhere, which is quite nice. He's right there. Just catch a tube. Here we go.
I'm here, lads.
Whatever it is, But it was just a dominant showing, and Martinelli, Saka.
Great finish, by the way. I love that from Martinelli, because obviously I'm just talking from watching the highlights, and we talked about Zaha sending Ben White left and right and being unpredictable. Martinelli the same. I could see, is it Kelly, the Palace right back? I think his name is Kelly at the back. I think that's his. I don't know his first name. Surname I think is Kelly. He used to play for Liverpool. And anyway, he looked like as if he was trying to send him down the left, and Martinelli was like, yeah, no worries, mate. And then just smashed it in. I was like, top goal. Top goal.
It was again, Martinelli just dominated that match. I think probably I don't really have another word to say, the way that we played, especially in that first half, because second half, Palace sort of came back at us a little bit. They didn't leave as many open spaces for us. They attacked. And obviously, they exploited some of the counter-attacking that they are good at. They've got fast players.
Of course,
they've got fast players.
Really good players,
I was really impressed with...
Did they have a manager today or not? Was there like a caretaker manager, or was Roy Hodgson on the dugout? Because apparently there's rumours Roy Hodgson might be... Is he not retired yet, Roy? What's going on? I thought he retired.
I think I think that there has been talks, to be fair, about Roy. And I genuinely thought, I just laughed him off. But if you're saying the same thing...
No, bro, I heard the same thing. I'm not even lying to you. I think I read somewhere, not heard it, sorry. I read it somewhere. They were saying that Roy Hodgson's in talks to take over Palace. I was like, really? Sorry about that. Really? Again?
Just leave the man be.
Just leave it, bro. It's like, just leave it. Just don't go back to the X's. Just leave it. Just
stop giving him more money. He doesn't want it anymore. He can't spend it. He's 73 million or something, isn't he? What is he?
No, that's in age, or you mean in finances?
Net worth, obviously. Come on. He's 69, mate. Come on.
That's retirement age, bro. Let the man go claim his state pension and enjoy his millions.
He passed it. When he left. When was it? Last year? 2 years ago? Whenever it was. He was 71. So
he left England. He left England, and he was like, I think the last words he said before being sacked by England in that last final interview, when he was, I don't know, they got knocked out by Sweden or something. He was like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, and he got hammered by media outlets. I can't remember his Talksport for his name, Andy Goldstein, I think his name is, and he was like, what do you mean you don't know what you're doing here? You're getting paid $6 million a year to know.
He just doesn't
coming back, I don't know. Maybe Palace fans can get in touch with us on Twitter and let us know their opinions and what they're thinking. But for me, I wouldn't have it. There's enough managers out there, even give somebody else a chance rather than bringing Roy.
Try someone else, isn't it? At this point, I know obviously, look, they're fighting for relegation because there isn't that much difference in between, what is it, 11th and bottom.
Oh, it's crazy. So, it's like like a game.
So I was just surprised that they actually let go of Patrick Vieira at this point. I mean, if he was, I'm not saying this in any way, but I feel like if he was in the dugout today, I think
it would have meant more. Yeah,
I don't think it would have been. I don't think it would have been a 4-1. I think they would have had a little bit more confidence because look, it can go either way. We always talk about new manager bounce, but it can go the other way for players as well, where they just lose confidence because they're thinking, oh crap, we got rid of that guy. I actually liked him, and the player who liked him is your best player, like Zaha, for example. It's just an example. I'm not saying that's the case, but it can happen.
I totally understand. To be honest with you, I didn't think he was going to get sacked, and obviously once he got the sack, it wasn't soon enough. It was too quick to turn it around and bring a manager in and do something for Arsenal. So this game was always going to be a loss for them. Although I would have hoped they won, of course, hope to lose every game. But looking at the table here as well, they're in anybody from 12 down is in a relegation battle. 12 mid-table effectively.
So this could really backfire on them if they do get relegated, if they end up getting relegated. Because at the end of the day, with Patrick Vieira, he may have not been performing, but he had a steady ship. As in, again, the players were. From what we see, they seem happy. It's not like they're not trying; they are playing football. And today, you saw that. Obviously, some players are getting old, like that Ward. I think it's Ward that you're saying on the right back.
Was it Ward?
Martinelli, Ward, and then Elisa.
Ward, not Kelly. Then I probably started thinking of the wrong one, Kelly. Ward against Martinelli. Yeah,
and then Elisa in front. I was very impressed with. I think he didn't have anything on Martinelli, but I thought he was very good. He could have been he had some dangerous sort of moves up front, but most of the time he was pinned back, facing Martinelli in that right back position. So look, as a team
honestly,
performance, it was incredible. Obviously Martinelli, Saka, Xhaka scores. Xhaka scores in the 60.
Love the fact when Xhaka scores. Yeah, I love Xhaka. I'm happy he's scoring. To be fair, I felt very sorry for him. Obviously, I don't feel sorry for any Arsenal players, but particularly him with his Albanian heritage and the fact that the way he was treated by the fans. Do you know because he got made to be a scapegoat that game that he got taken off, and the fans were booing him, and he was like, he should not have did what he did, but at the same time, then the abuse he received afterwards, like for his daughter, and why it's just stupid, man. Just stupid. That's why I can't stand like football fans sometimes. It's just, bro, just relax. Yeah, this guy's here for 4 years and then he's going to go. Like, be here for longer. It depends how you treat him. So now I'm happy Xhaka scoring goals, being a captain again for the club.
Yeah,
for you guys,
he's going to end up being a club legend for sure.
He will, of course, he will. You win this league this year, a lot of those players are going to become club legends. But then one thing a lot of these players are going to be on the market for a lot more money.
Yeah.
Because Saka will get offered 300 grand a week by City in the summer.
Then it depends. Look, at that point, it just depends on how much the player is committed, really. And if he does something like that, I really blame him. Then he's done it for the money.
Well, it's 300 grand a week, of course. It's a job. Exactly. I know he came through the ranks, but he'll know Arsenal have got money. Like you've got one of the richest owners in the world. Like he's not going to be thinking for the fans. He'll be like, I'm not like Mason Mount for Chelsea. Like I'm not here to be made a mug. Like if you're bringing a Declan Rice in and pay him 300 grand a week, okay, pay me 250. Do you know what I mean? Like I play for England each time. I'm playing majority of the games and getting assists. Granted, not this season, but then again, everybody's been awful for Chelsea. So he wants the money, and there's reasons for it. And same for Saka. If City come in, it'll be hard to turn City down if they're offering him like crazy amount of money, because everybody's going to be in his ear saying, "You're making 150 here. You could double that at City."
Yeah, I think that there's been talks that he's close to the 250 mark, or that's what there's been discussions for a new contract, which is fair enough. I mean, I think he'll be happy for at least for another couple of years. But the way I look at it is, if, for example, we win the league and City don't win the Champions League, and then next year it's a fight out to see, obviously, in the British clubs, sort of, Arsenal in the Champions League, Man City in the Champions League, see what happens there. Then,
see what goes on.
If we go further, then it could mean, maybe just a little bit more to Saka. It's like, well, if I go join City, these guys crash out. Pretty much all the time.
I totally agree with you. You just have to have a competitive team each time as well, because the players want that.
That's a bit far-fetched thinking, I think, because obviously, like you said, at the end of the day, money makes, money talks. It makes a difference.
Money talks.
You can't get around that. You definitely can't get around that. But yeah, Jack, I'm happy with Trossard with a great assist. He did a little through pass, again.
I saw. Yeah. Quick little triangle. Quick triangle on that bad boy. Or Y if you're playing Xbox.
You caught him on the peripheral. You think, that's the guy, I'm going to do it. And he did it. It was great. And Trossard, by the way, what a revelation he's been. What a great player he's been for us at least in the last few games. Since he started, he's been absolutely brilliant. Just there all the time, almost emulating Gabriel Jesus. But then when Gabriel Jesus comes on, you think, "Oh shit, we've got two of these players. That's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. So it's obviously it was great, and then they scored one. Schlupp gets one back from a corner kick from a set piece, which has been a bit of a weak spot for us, especially since after the World Cup. And I don't really know why. And, this was with Saliba, so you can't really say, fans can't really say, because Saliba. No, it would happen with him. Like pretty much the last few games, that's how we conceded goals. So, no, I was happy with Rob Holding as well. I didn't think I would be today. I thought I was. What
was that challenge like? I saw in highlights Holding going in for a tackle. Did that look as dirty? Did he pick up a yellow for it? Was it a dirty challenge?
No, absolutely not.
Just hard and fair.
If it's the same one that we're thinking of against Zaha, you mean?
I have no idea. It was like a fair, I think he picked up, or there was a counter afterwards because the referee played. I don't know. I can't really remember. Again, I'm talking from highlights. It might not even have been it. It looked like he'd gone in, and I thought, oh, here we go. This guy's going to get another yellow or something here.
If it's the same situation, because obviously I watched the match.
It's like in their half of that. In the first half, I believe.
The only controversial bit I saw from Holding, like that you would say, was probably when he caught Zaha, but that was just more of an entanglement. And that's not Jada Smith. Yeah, that's not Jada Smith.
A situation.
That's not where we're going here. Yeah, that's not what we're doing. But yeah, look, I don't think they deserve a yellow card. It wasn't anything malicious. They got tangled together, they fell, and that was pretty much it. But overall, I'm very happy, man. I'm a
Good,
happy
man,
guy.
good.
Jesus obviously
It
coming
annoys
on.
me that you're happy, but happy that you are happy as my mate. But other than that, I hope you lose every game. And actually, do you know what? I just hope you come second, because that would really make me happy. You coming second.
That's even worse. Don't say stuff like that. That's even worse.
I know, right? That's so bad, isn't it? Like, can you imagine you get so close to you come second? Now, to be fair, listen, joking aside, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, and I'm going to speak truthfully, and I think the season is yours.
You'd rather
I know there's 10 games left. I know City have got like a game behind.
You'd rather us than City win. Let's just be honest with yourselves.
Is that you asking me a genuine question?
Yeah. I'd rather City.
I'd rather you not win it. The amount of Arsenal fans that I have, apart from you, because you're a decent Arsenal fan and you're a fair Arsenal fan.
I'm a fair Arsenal fan.
The amount of Arsenal fans that I have that I play five-a-side with and down here, and a couple of lads at work as well. They're just the worst Arsenal fans ever. It's that, I don't know who was that that guy that used to be on when you win one game at the beginning of the year. We're going to win the league, and then by Christmas, sack Wenger out, Arteta out, Emery out. That's the majority of them. Yeah, exactly. And I just can't stand them. But yeah, that's why. But if you're asking me, I'd rather have City win than you win.
Okay, because the whole London thing, right? Yeah.
The whole London thing, your fans, it's just like Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans and Man United fans are the worst fans, I think, because they're just like, just crazy.
Look, don't put us in the same category as Liverpool and
Man United. You feel the same. See, there's a trigger word. You say those words and automatically they become trigger words. Liverpool fans, Man United fans, you're like,
I would never put Chelsea in that category. Never. In that category.
We don't have their success. We don't have their success, to be fair. We've got recent success, but not their history.
Historic success. Fair enough.
This is what Liverpool fans are like. Liverpool fans our age, especially who've seen them win the Champions League in 2005, then win it again in 17, 18, whenever they won it, and so on. And then after that, like between those phases and winning the Premier League, they had nothing. Like, but they keep going back to. Fan. So, I know, but some Arsenal fans do that. Like exactly. I know. Maybe this is what I've got to face. Like, this is like I want to stop talking in case it becomes a reality. So for Chelsea fans, I like anyway. Yeah, no, listen.
We win one Champions League. We're halfway there. We win one Champions League. We're halfway there. But until that happens, I can't really. I have no opinions in Europe. Oh, we made it there 25 years in a row. Okay.
Yeah.
What a trophy.
That's Spursy. That's Spursy.
That's Spursy. 2006, whatever. Anyway, so look, I don't really want to add too much into the Arsenal match because it was one-sided. It was 4-1. The scoreline, well deserved. There was nothing to debate about that. Great team performance overall. Happy as Larry. Happy as Larry. Hey, how good is that?
We'll get the tube and we head over to SW. We'll head over to the... It's not SW, I'm lying. It's West London. So now that you're on the tube, the next station is Chelsea. Please mind the gap and collect all your belongings.
Ooh, hey,
I know, right? You think it's my voice. You think it's my voice.
No, that's a self-burn. That's what that is. Mind the gap.
I know, I didn't realise I said that, but now that you pointed out, like, oh...
So is that my joke? Does that count as my joke or is your joke?
Excuse me, love, can you bring some aloe vera in here? Does it burn, that one?
So you need that papanthum. You need that papanthum. That's what you need.
That's exactly what I need. Yeah, I need to put some of that in. Oh, mind the gap. Why did I say that? Ouch.
Chelsea fans hate you all over the place right now.
They're probably going to hunt me down. Going to hunt me down in herds.
SW.
How was it? It was. To be fair, mate, it was a not disappointing, but it was a disappointing result. But it was a good performance. Did you watch it?
I watched the highlights. And I think your first half you had a great first half.
First half was the strongest half. Yeah. First half we were very, very not very good because obviously very good would merit a couple of more goals, but we were good in all aspects apart from in front of goal. Another thing that I think we could have improved a little bit more is just threw somebody forward, like more bodies going forward. I felt like Kova and Enzo just weren't. Bless you, sir. I saw that you muted it very quickly, and they're just like,
yeah, that was well timed. That was a split second.
It was very well timed.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Oof. But as I said, I would have liked more people going forward. Really, like fair enough. And Enzo was going to sit more of a CDM, but maybe Kova could get a bit more. I felt like when the ball went in the wings, there weren't many players in the box. There was really nice to see, obviously, Felix, Havertz, Pulisic changing position, keeping the back lines of Everton guessing who am I marking now, where's they going. They found really good spaces between the lines because we knew what Dyche was going to do, just sit back and defend, look to hit on the counter. I think he played 5-4-1 was his formation. And even when he had the 5 at the back, I think he got Iwobi and whatever his name is, the other guy. He played 4-5-1, sorry. And I think he played with wing backs. He was like effectively 6 at the back. And I was just like, what is going on here? But that's what we expect, right?
Burn Leverton, that's what he
Burn Leverton, exactly. That's exactly what he was. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
but the team, I was happy with the lineup, you know. Obviously, on paper, I thought, yes, very strong team. Played really well.
It's pretty much as strong as I would say, right?
It was. I would say that is possibly, I think instead of Pulisic, would have Sterling in there. And then that would be, I think for me, would be probably when Thiago may be coming in the centre of the centre back as the 3. But again, that's still a very strong team.
Koulibaly, by the way, like, you know,
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Bear with. But no, like, apart from that moment, like you mentioned on Koulibaly. But yeah, no, the team, obviously on paper, you look at it and I was like, this is a really strong team. And I wanted that formation as well because it wasn't a defensive formation. Think about it. We only had 3 at the back. When we controlled the ball, we were like with players forward. The only downside was there weren't many in the box or running into the box. And we got that goal. You saw the goal, and I think it was only João Felix in the box. When the ball got switched over to Chilwell passed it in, and he's just like, come on, more players in the box. It just felt like as if we just need to practice that a little bit better, especially if we're trying to do something in the Champions League. We need to overload the box with players. And I've been saying this week in, week out for Chelsea. But again, and Felix, Enzo was fantastic, by the way. I don't know if you saw what you thought of Enzo. Enzo was brilliant. For me, I thought he was excellent.
He's usually your best player on the pitch.
He was very good. Very good. He was doing the Jorginho role of like short passing, and I'm not calling it Jorginho role because he's been good for Chelsea. He's been very good.
But that's why he feels more comfortable.
But it's just like the way he was just pinging it as well. Like I was just like, yeah, go on, my son.
Like you said, you know, them two in partnership, you know, they make
fantastic. I'd like to see next games or whenever the next. I think we've got Villa away. I think it is, or Villa at home next game. Possibly look to see if Kante can come in and do a little something in there as well. If we're winning, just to see if Kante and Enzo can do something. Maybe give Enzo a bit more freedom rather than try and do defensively. See if he can offer us anything going forward. Kind of that more of a Lampard role, push on out of those 2 defensive midfielders. But. Yeah, that game against Everton, first half, we needed more goals to kind of put the game to bed earlier because we knew second half Everton are going to come out. We scored, they scored. The corner was just a bit like, what is going on there? We should really be winning those headers. And then the penalty, for me, it was a penalty. I know some people online are saying, it was soft. It was this. He got kicked to the back of the legs and then tripped up by Tarkowski, like in the front. Like, what more do you want? Yeah. Not once did either of those 2 players touch the ball. And then Michael Keane go over and touch, shout at Reece James as if you've gone down too easy. Like, bro, like I can't go through players. Do I look like fucking Casper here? Like, what are you talking about? Like, just relax yourself.
Love it.
But yeah, Havertz put it away, confident, straight in, and then the Koulibaly moment happened. Like, I don't know what my man was doing. Why did he not just stand on his feet? He didn't need to get that touch tight on him because the player was not running wide, but running away from goal effectively because he got so tight. Then a little touch in front of him, and then he just buried it. Even
Tarkowski knew, by the way, that was a penalty.
Oh, of course it was, because you could see his face. It was, I think it was Michael Keane who came over, or the right back, I forgot his name, the Irish right back, wasn't it? Coleman or somebody came in, like trying to shout in his face to be like, get up, or something, like, you gone down easy. Like, listen, it was a stonewall pen all day, every day.
Yeah. No, I can't disagree with that, to be fair.
It's still to think like, just a bit more. And what I want a bit more on the noise is more for Felix. I feel like he's a bit too relaxed. He's a bit trying a bit too much. There was a moment where he had a player in front of him and he just dangled the leg up. He used to do that Ronaldo one, just shake his ankle, and you're like, I don't know what you're trying to do there. Who are you trying to confuse? And then he passed it to Pulisic when Pulisic had 3 players. And I was like, and this was early on. It wasn't in a dangerous position. It wasn't going to lead to anywhere. We just lost pointless losing possession.
It sets the tone. It sets the tone for the rest of the match.
It sets the tone, and also the opposition's going to think to this guy, right, we can just get into him here. And they did. They really got into Felix. But listen, he got his goal. Great finish, left foot. He's a good player. He's very technical. I just want him to be a bit quicker on passing the ball rather than holding on to it. There's moments when you should hold on to it.
It was a nice goal. Like,
it was a great finish. Great finish. Yeah, through the legs. He had another chance when I think he went through the defender's leg, but he went straight to straight to Pickford when he really should have passed it to Reece James because Reece James was overlapping. And I think there's a way of doing that. And I'm sure he's a professional footballer. Of course, he can't pretend you're shooting, but really lay it off. and then James would have been either squaring it or just smashing it far
Where
corner. And I think that
where
would
he always
likely
is.
go.
Yeah, where he always is.
Where Reece James is always overlapping. But sometimes I think, again, and this, there's a small doubt that I have here is, are all these players trying to play for individual accolades rather than the whole team? Because João Felix was at one point the world's most expensive footballer, and then Neymar went. He's young. He's probably trying to get more money out of Atletico, although he signed a contract. I was trying to stay at Chelsea, whichever. Like, I don't mind any of that, but sometimes the greediness I don't like. And I think, especially when the team are 10th and we've won 3-3, so obviously we're unbeaten in March. Yeah. We're like, let's celebrate, woohoo! And you're like, this is Chelsea Football Club actually telling me this is Spursy. Celebrating we're unbeaten in a month is Spurs mentality. So yeah, for me, it just should have been Felix. I think if Felix can pass quick and make the right decision sometimes, I think he'll be unstoppable. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's very quick. He's not very quick, so he's very technical. He's got great feet, left and right. You saw with a goal. You've seen him shoot with his right foot, the chips before, and the left-footed shots. So yeah, but just like the tweet that you sent me of why did Conor Gallagher come on?
I was just going to get into the substitutions, because
why change formation when we're only winning by one?
Yeah, it's not something it's not something that's going to play well for Graham Potter at all. You know, especially with the upcoming matches, because everyone's going to be like, "Oh, remember that mistake that he made?" And look, I'm sure he's made tactical mistakes in the last so many games. I'm sure he has. Of course he has.
But you have to learn from them.
You have to learn from them. And look, making those changes, I can't stress enough how Conor Gallagher is just not a Chelsea player, and he can't be a Chelsea player. But it saddens me sometimes where again, you know what the problem is, but you can't. No one's listening to you. That's the issue. But Conor Gallagher, I think that change was not necessary. I don't think at that point.
I don't know if I'm starting a conspiracy theory or not, but I hope it's not a Todd Bowley influence saying he must go on because we're going to sell him in the summer. So try and advertise him as much as you can.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
I'm hoping not. I'm just trying to think of other reasons as to why possibly would you look to change tactics. Then I like Conor Gallagher. I've told you he's a good squad player. I like his heart. I like his desire. I like his athleticism. When he's on the pitch, he's chasing down, he's running, he's trying, and so on. But sometimes you feel like, why change the tactic? It didn't have to be Conor. Could have brought N'Golo Kante. We're all like, N'Golo.
Looking forward to it.
But why change the tactic? Exactly. Like, you're only 1-0 into it. Like, relax. You know what Everton are going to do now? Everton are going to overload you defensively because they can't afford to lose. Because if they lose, then they're they're already in a dogfight. But then effectively, it's like, you might as well just.
Yeah, that's it.
As I do the cutthroat movement to you on camera.
Even the noise, people know what it is. Yeah, I think with just tactically, it made absolutely no sense, and I can't help but feel that that's pretty much what lost Chelsea the game. Not lost the game, but it must feel like, obviously, more points dropped than necessary.
Yeah, it was 2 points dropped. It wasn't a point gain for this match.
You had full control of it, and just to let it go like that, and due to a manager error, and a manager, by the way, who is seriously under fire.
Absolutely,
Media,
totally agree.
Fans, everywhere
totally agree.
We're a part of this.
I can see he was trying to possibly save Reece James. Obviously, continue to work with Reece James in the sense of like slowly bringing him in, because at the minute he's come out saying Reece James can't play 90 minutes every game, which is fine. Okay, no problem. But then you bring on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Why put what's his name? We're winning 2-1. Put Trevor Chalobah on the right back and put Wesley Fofana there. Just sit back. It's literally 7 minutes left, or however long it was left. So sit back with 5 at the back. Nobody's going to remember Chelsea coming under pressure from Everton for the last 15 minutes and winning the game 2-1. All they're going to remember is 2-1. Chelsea have turned points around. They've won 4 in 4.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It sounds much better than you've won 4 in 4, but on your last game you had to soak up pressure for 15 minutes. And that's what I didn't like, is the fact that he still went with Ruben. Ruben is not a right back. Ruben at best is a centre mid or a cam. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not the defensive player.
It's a dumb mistake.
It's all little mistakes. Plays out of position.
Sterling on right wing back or something like that.
Yeah, like something daft like that. Like, I know TT used to flirt with the idea of playing Pulisic there, but then that was like once or twice, and then he was like, yeah, no, this is not going to work.
It's not going to work. And then this guy still does it with different players that clearly don't know how to play it in that position, or struggle to play in that position.
Because for me, Simmons got the position between Trevor Chalobah and Koulibaly. I know we blame Koulibaly, but Koulibaly looked like try and tackle back because there's Simmons, and a great movement from Simmons, by the way. This is taking nothing away from the goal. A top finish as well from a young lad. Obviously, he's 22 young, but not academy young where they've just broke into the team at 17. He's still like at that. He's a good age now. But yeah, top finish, great movement. But Trevor Chalobah was like in no man's land. Koulibaly, we've spoke. But Ruben, kind of like, is he closing the pass? Is he going to be a right wing back? What's he doing? Like, kind of get goal side? Not. Do you see what I mean? Like, get in between the player and the goal. That schoolboy error where you say, if
you're defending. Footballing brain, isn't it? Footballing brain not knowing what to do at that point because you don't have that experience. And if
you've grown up playing centre mid, when you're playing right back, you don't really know. I know you're professionals, but you're playing against other professionals. Against an amateur team or against a semi-pro team, you can play. You can play right back.
Striker, exactly. If we had a goalkeeper playing a striker,
bring check back, play up top.
He's still going to be a lot better than any of us will ever be,
Exactly, but against other professionals, you need to be able to know, especially professionals who
exploit weaknesses,
and that's their whole point, isn't it? Defend, soak pressure, and then look for a weakness, and the weakness was that right hand side for us, which then led to a goal.
There is a science to this, especially like we said, psychological stuff that players can learn about their opponents. And I know it sounds crazy because it's like we're talking about battle, but at the end of the day, we're talking
that's what it is for those 90 minutes.
At the very elite level, that's what it is. It becomes a battle, and that's the fundamentals of it. If it wasn't a battle, it wouldn't be interesting. And,
exactly. Nobody's going to watch grown men just walking by. Even in basketball, that's a contact sport.
Let me take that past you. No, it's that's why we love the game, and it's moments like this. I know, obviously, for a neutral myself, because obviously I don't really care for much about Everton at all or Sean Dyche. But for me, as a neutral, this is why we love the game, because you think, Chelsea, all right, let's seal it. There we go, the bastards, 4 out of 4, whatever it is, and then and then
that's exactly right. That's it. That's one thing I would like to have seen from Potter is possibly just maybe put a defender. Like, okay, this is going to sound crazy when I'm saying I know we've got a right back coming in the summer. I know we've got a striker coming in the summer because they're our players that we've just loaned back to the club, right? I think. Yeah, exactly, right. No, but a right back is needed because, look, if Reece James comes out, who goes there? Or like a right wing back, you know what I mean? Like Aspie's had concussion, he's still off. Bring Aspie into that game, we would have won that game. Aspilicueta would not have made those mistakes because he's a legend of the club. You got to, Dave has been there for yonks. Like I remember, I think he came 2013, 2012, something ridiculous. No, not 12, something like that. Like he's been there for a decade almost, if not over a decade. But again, like, you need players in those positions to be able to change players in and out. Like you talked about Tierney and Zinchenko, if you didn't have Tierney, who would have got there? Let's say if you had to play a Saka left back, or let's play somebody ridiculous. I know.
Absolutely never.
Exactly. Now, I know Chelsea have got ridiculous amount of defenders, but
that's a foreign concept when you say it like that. It's when you do that little sort of, not as much as a comparison, but because obviously Saka, that's how.
Make it realistic for you, for a team. Now drop Saka back at left back where he started. You think, hold on a minute, no chance. And that's a problem with Ruben as well. Ruben should not have been a right wing back. But anyway, Trevor Chalobah's a young lad. He's not had much game. Players need game time, and you can't expect them to come on into a tight game like it was. What Dyche is going to do. He's going to kind of, like I mentioned earlier, just overload you in the final minutes to get something out of the game. If the game was 3-1, 4-1, I don't think Everton would have just passed the ball, gave up. But when it's 2-1, you're still allowing the other team saying there's a lifeline for you. All you have to do is just come and grab it. And that's effectively what they did. So well done, Everton, on that. Pisses me off, but
of course.
Hopefully we're learning from that and say, okay, this is what we need. But before I finish on Chelsea, on anything else I want to say is, and I know this is kind of redundant and everybody's going to make the same point, but I think obviously with the striker, which we've spoken before, we've got one coming. Nguku's going to come from RB Leipzig. I think that's their right name. Before you give me some Sporting de Portugal. But so for me is let him come. He's an out-and-out striker. See what he can do. Possibly Havertz as a 10. Sterling, Mudryk, Felix if he stays, or so on and so forth. Plenty of players going for the wings and midfield and defenders. The right back's coming from Lyon. He looks like he's a good defender, playing regularly for Lyon in League One. See what he can do in the Prem. And then I would spend all the money that we have if we don't sign anyone else in the next 2 windows, and this is summer and January, providing no players are injured. Chelsea should spend everything they've got and get Jude Bellingham. Because a Jude Bellingham with Enzo Fernandez, if Enzo's sitting and spraying passes, and from the 2 games that I watched Jude, not for England, but just for the Dortmund against Chelsea, He was fantastic, running up and down, up and down. He reminded me of that Lampard-esque that you needed, that Gerrard that kind of coming late into the box, getting in for headers. Chelsea don't have a midfielder who's going in for headers in the box. If Havertz is not there, no one is there.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
do you hear what I'm saying? If there's no striker there, no one is there.
There's no exaggeration.
Exactly. That's why I paused to say to you, if one player's not there, no one is there. And that's why I need like a Jude Bellingham there, man. I think, but again, that's why I say it's redundant because the whole world's after this player. But if I was Todd, forget everyone else. You get Jude Bellingham.
Sell everyone else that you got, them 16 players.
No, but you can afford it. If you spend 600 million there, you can afford it. If Mason Mount is getting sold, if Conor Gallagher's getting sold, like there's rumours, I hope they don't, but if Conor Gallagher and so on, because even Mason Mount gets into the box.
Yeah.
But Mason is not Jude.
It's clearly like, oh, no.
I like Mason a lot, but Mason is not Jude.
It's clearly, there's been some sort of rift between him and Graham Potter. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm going to say this as a neutral and obviously just for the sake of the podcast, but it was disappointing to not take the win as far as me looking into it. But at the same time, as you know, as the listeners know, I hope you lose every single game. So
yeah, feelings mutual, but I hope you come second. That's going to be the new thing. #second.
That hurts more, man. That hurts more.
I know, because I think you say to me, #10th is like as if I've got used to it now, because obviously you're like, okay, whatever, let's do something. Let's give up these. I've made my peace with a mid-table. If anything, I hope we get no Europe for next year. So just like, we just play on a Saturday.
I don't think that's going to be an issue, but yes.
No, not even conference, because, like we possibly put a couple of wins together, we might be in the Conference League. I just don't want Thursday, Sunday kind of football. Not that it is bad for the team. Look at Arsenal. You've managed it very well, so it's doable, clearly. Top of the league on Thursday.
7 years, by the way.
But but I mean, this year, you did it this year, like, if you're going to try and go for the league. So the reason I say that is trying to go for the league next year. You've got these players. What can you do? Now, the only thing it comes down to next year, like I said to you, if it goes as far as Christmas and we're like 7th, 6th, then the manager's got to change, because there's nothing else you can change. It doesn't matter how much money you throw. Like, you can't bring... This isn't FIFA where you buy as many packs and get a legendary pack with R9 and Zidane and Cafu. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not coming back. So the only thing to change then would be the manager. So, again, I'm happy he's done well. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan. I want my team to win regardless who's leading the ship. So, yeah, I'm happy for Potter. I'm happy for the club. Just keep winning. I will eat my words. But these little tactical changes in games like this, it makes me think... Because back brings you 2 steps forward, and it's effectively 5 back when you think, really though, bro? Like, is this out of your depth? Like, do you really need to do that? It raises more questions than it answers, and you think, oh. So that's pretty me. I'm done on that one. I've got nothing else to say on Chelsea. Yeah, just disappointed not to take the 3 points.
We'll wait for after the international break on that one. I do want to quickly talk about then not all the matches from the Premier League, because some of them we don't really care that much. But I will say this. I did. But remember when we did predictions and we talked about Leeds versus Wolves, and I said to you like 3-2 or something like that.
I think it was 3-2. Yeah.
Hold on. I said 3-2. Wait, let me just make sure so I'm not bullshitting. Yeah. So I said 3-2 Leeds, and you said, "Oh, that's going to be an interesting match." That. And do you know what? That was such an interesting match.
It certainly was, wasn't it?
So many things happened in that match, and this is why I kept my Arsenal talk short, because I just wanted to talk about this, squeeze this in the conversation before we talk about F1. But did you watch this match, by the way? Did you happen to catch it all?
I haven't caught any. Like, I saw the highlights. I got it this morning on Match of the Day. Disappointing Gary Neville wasn't doing it, but apparently he's lost his voice, air quotes. And
all of a sudden, sorry, when you say lost his voice, you mean that metaphorically or literally?
Well, I just something that I read. Gary Lineker would not be doing. Yeah, well played. I see what you did there. Yeah, but no, apparently he lost his voice, so he can't. He couldn't do the. What was it? The FA Cup show and all this other stuff. So, but I watched it. I watched the highlights. But yeah, no, fantastic. One thing I do want to touch on that game though is I don't know what Wolves were doing, but for 3 attacks, they all came down from one player down the left hand side. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, can somebody on the pitch just look and just say, "Bro, can you close that guy down? Like, can somebody stay closer to him? Like to Salmedo. What's his name? Salmedo, I think his name is, the Portuguese right back.
Semedo.
Semedo. Like, dude, get tighter. Like, don't stay 7 yards away from him. Close it down to 3 yards. Because and that's where the goal came from. I forgot his name. The Leeds lad. What's his name? The left winger. No, not Harrison scored, but the guy who assisted. What's his name? Ganato.
Nonto. Nonto, the Italian,
Nonto, the
19-year-old.
G silent.
Yeah.
Nonto.
G silent, of course. Nonto, yeah. So he had a storming game. He caused many problems on that side. He really, really did. And Semedo, he just wasn't good.
Just wasn't there, was he?
He was not good. He got taken off in the 57th minute, but he should have been taken off a lot sooner.
In the 7th minute.
He was getting absolutely tortured. But yeah, Jack Harrison opens the scoring. There's a lot of yellow. I'm just going to count the yellow cards real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yellow cards, 2 red cards.
I saw the reds, and they were reds as well. There was nowhere like they weren't reds.
Anyone's debating Johnny's tackle, they need to
they need an eyesight.
They need to watch this in HD. That's all they need, or 4K or something, because that was a nasty tackle. Like, I was watching that with my dad, and even my dad was like, "Oh, I've never really," he doesn't really react that much because obviously, it's Leeds, Wolves, whatever.
It's Leeds, who cares?
But that was, on a human level, that was nasty. Luke Ayling is lucky to walk away from that. Like, genuinely.
Agreed. Dirty challenge.
I don't think he obviously meant it maliciously to snap someone's leg, but that was, come on, man, you must know as a player, you can't leave your leg like that. You can't go in with your studs like that. It was unfortunate. It really was, but yeah, that was just dangerous, more than dangerous play. So look, it was such an interesting match. It really was, because I was watching. I was thinking, "Oh, get in! Yeah, I think I've got my score prediction." And then everything else happened. I'm thinking, "What is going on in this match right here?
What is happening?" Yeah.
It was just electric, absolutely electric match, end to end. Like I said, Nonto was brilliant.
Yeah, no, both teams went for it though, didn't they? It wasn't like we're going to sit back and try and get a point as the away team or anything like that from Leeds. Obviously, we knew what Leeds offer. Leeds offer an attacking football all the time and just keep going and trying. And today it paid off.
Yeah,
yesterday it paid off. Sorry,
absolutely.
So, but that goal that the guy scored, what's his name? The left back for Wolves, I think is his left back, who got it from 40 yards or something when the keeper came out. Did he just?
It was Johnny. Wow. No, that was Johnny, by the way. Johnny scored.
Yeah, that was the red, and then he got a red card afterwards. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was him.
It's minus points for anyone who's got him in the football.
I'm sure they were buzzing when he scored. And then after that,
damn, that's minus 3 points right there. But I do want to just touch on real quick, right, on the last goal that Leeds scored, Rodrigo goal, where obviously VAR, they went to VAR. It looked like someone fouled Traore because they pulled his shirt for and then you look at the replay. He must have just sort of twitched it with his finger, because the shirt just moved for I'm going to show you this on camera, obviously, just like that. And then, but it went to VAR because he thought he got fouled, but he didn't. So it was, in the end. It
just goes to show play to the whistle as well, though, doesn't it? Because all of the Wolves players just stop thinking as if he must have got fouled. Like, no, bro, you're a unit of a human being. Like, he's probably the biggest in terms of sheer size. Like, from width to width, he's probably the biggest, the strongest in terms of muscle mass and so on. Like, how are you not being stronger in that situation? And you know what? I'm glad they got punished for it, because that's a lesson to the rest of the teams in the Premier League. You play to the whistle. You don't make your own rules. Because I'm against another one. I hate when players get knocked down and then they grab the ball with their hands. Why are you making that decision? Why are you making that decision for yourself? Like, okay, it may have been a foul, but let the referee blow for it.
Yeah, that's the ref's decision at the end of the day. But I think I can compare that little shirt pull as, for example, if you grab a pair of tweezers right now and just pull your shirt, and tell me if that's going to slow you down. Is that going to slow you down? It's not going to slow you down.
Me, yes. Traore, no.
Pair of tweezers, they're not that strong. I'll rip your shirt more than anything.
Who's holding it? Depends who's holding it. Zeus with his mighty.
If it's Zeus or Raiden, we can't mess with that. So, but yeah, it was just such a great match to watch. Even obviously, I watched most of it. Skipping in between all the matches that day.
Yeah, but I felt another top game though, wasn't it? As well was Spurs Southampton. How, and again, it's such a Spursy way, and it's going to become. I can't believe it. I feel sorry for Tottenham fans, and I've got a couple of Tottenham fans at work who are really, really, really nice people, and I can see them hurting, and they all pointing the finger at the hierarchy. They're not blaming. They blame Conte as well. Don't get me wrong, but predominantly at the hierarchy, and saying we need players and we need better players. You think about it. That Tottenham 11, if they finish in the top 4, that is down to Antonio Conte and the management team. And you think the way you've motivated these players, because really you look at that starting 11, you think, wait, what? How? Your team is awful. Like, apart from the front three, which you would say, okay, Harry Kane will start in any centre forward position in the country. Son on his day, maybe, because Son's not better than Martinelli. If I do it for Arsenal now, I'd put Harry Kane as your best striker because he'll get you goals left, right. But it depends what game you play and so on. But yeah, man, it's just for Spurs. And I don't know what you thought of that, because I'm going to lead this on to the Antonio Conte rant as well.
Before we get to that, I think
that's where I'm going to head.
With Spurs, before we actually get to that, there is one more person that I would like to give a shout out to in this match, is Richarlison. Thank you so much for entertaining me for the first 5 minutes of this match, and then it just got boring afterwards. So I have to give you a shout out for being the only one to make me watch a Spurs match, but then you left very early. So, exit stage, you are the weakest link.
Why did he leave? I didn't watch it. Did he get subbed?
So basically what happened was, during warm-up, he pulled something. Yeah, you don't really know what it is, because, again, who cares? But he pulled something, and then, the physios made him run up and down. Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, I'm ready to play. Now, my first thing is, at that point, like, this player cost you 60 million, yeah? This player is considered, to the outside world, to the Tottenham fans, he's considered as a good player because, he plays for Tottenham. And this is only applies to Tottenham fans, by the way, because we know Richarlison is not a good player. So he's an important part of your team that you spend a lot of money on. Why are you not making the decision to not play him, to be like, do you know what? You're going to sit this one out because whatever you're doing, you're going to aggravate it. Granted, it was only 5 minutes. He, just dropped, started crying and all that stuff. I think I sent a picture on the group. I don't know if I did.
I don't think you did, no.
I must have tweeted it, I think. So any sports scouts out there, fans, you know what I'm saying? Just, keep a lookout for that photo. But, yeah, they were... Oh, God. It was
so what happened? So did he get... So basically, he should not have played because he pulled something, but then he started the match and then got taken off soon.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right.
You've got to blame management and the physio for that. Like, surely do a better assessment. Like, why are you wasting a sub on a player who just got... he's not well enough 5 minutes before the game starts or 20 minutes before... It's not something you can run off. Like, give him a more intensive test. Be like, right, give him some shuttle runs to do or something, and just say,
close to the match. That close to the match, I wouldn't even take that risk. Especially, like I said, because obviously he's considered to be an important part of the team because of the money that they've spent. By the way, that's the only thing.
Well, and I think it's got to be him as well. He's selfish for saying he's going to start. Like, maybe he felt he could in something, but like he's selfish to be like, no, I want to play football, and I get football. Trying to be a hero, but
you've
got to think for the team.
He's trying to be a hero, but like he hasn't even made a comic book. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I think possibly that's what Antonio Conte may have tried to be on the rant with about saying these players are selfish. Is probably that exact reason. And Richarlison being selfish, but he can't single out Richarlison, so he has to blame the whole team for it.
Conte has to be blamed for that, and I'm going to put a little snippet of that.
They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this: 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here. And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment. And now, until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no, because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans. They follow us, pay the tickets, and to see the team another time.
But I agree with what he said, though, mate. A lot of journalists out there are saying he's saying the right things, but you just don't say that. Well, why not? Why can you not say that? If you want something to change at your club, I know there's ways of saying it, but then he shouldn't get the criticism that he's getting. He should not have done, for me, personally, he shouldn't have done what he did. But everything that he said, I agree with. Yeah. Everything that he said, I agree with. Because no matter what manager comes to Spurs, it's been the same outcome.
Every single time, yeah. I think, no, he's right. He's right to call it out like that. But I just, it's when you're not winning. See, this is the problem, because it comes down to, like, you're not winning matches or you're not performing well. So you have to blame someone. That's what it feels like. Because, the same problems would persist if they were winning. The management will still be the same. The executive board will still be exactly the same people. But if they were winning, no one would chat about it.
Nobody says anything.
Exactly. And see, that's the problem that I think the fans are having. It's like, look, we know what our problems are as a club, but there's no point for you to, make it out like this, because, look, at the end of the day, like you said, money talks. Conte goes, he gets his paycheck, whatever it is. See you later. Nice one. Next manager comes in. He's like, look, I'll give you 20 million a year. Who's going to say no to that? They know what Spurs are like. They know what Spurs are like. Shit.
And the worst they're going to be like, if anything, they will say, can I get that in a 5-year contract?
Yeah.
So that if they do get sacked halfway through, there's a huge payout.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. And that's what I
genuinely think they will lose Harry. Sorry to interrupt you. I genuinely think they will lose Harry Kane for free. I think if Harry Kane is not signing a new contract and Daniel Levy is going to be stubborn and not let him go and not let him play or whatever reason, he'll try and do something similar to Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
He'll be like, no worries. I'm Tottenham highest goal scorer. I've offered everything I can to this club. Now I need to be selfish. He should have been selfish 3 years ago for me personally in terms of leaving and go and win something, because he will be the greatest scorer for Tottenham or the greatest scorer in the Premier League. And then all you come back to is, but what did you win now? No, what's your trophy cabinet looking like? Where are your medals?
It's your personal accolades, You won what Golden Boot?
Audi Cup is not a trophy, bro. Like,
you can even say, you can argue that obviously he's won the Golden Boot a few times in the Premier League, but okay, nice one. But people who haven't won the league have won the Golden Boot.
I'll be honest with you, if I was to ask you now in 2000, quick question, because you're a footballer lad, in 05-06, who won the Golden Boot?
I want to say Rooney or Henry.
Okay, and then if I say to you, who won the league?
05-06, Chelsea.
Exactly. Yeah. So which one did you remember quicker?
Yeah, of course.
And if I was to say to you, who played for Chelsea up front that time, you will say to me,
Didier.
Of course
he did.
So, I mean? But like when you come down to the individual accolades, you're like, wait, who? So in terms of history books, you can Google it and stuff. But trophy-wise, you're like instantly football lads. You'd be like, yeah, it was Chelsea who won it, then Man U, then so on, then so forth. Like this team won this, this team won this. You know, nobody remembers.
The only reason I would remember Golden
who came
Boot
second.
No, of Thierry Henry is because obviously I support him. But like you said, I wouldn't remember anyone else's Golden Boot. I don't really care. Like,
exactly.
Who won it. That was just a guess, by the way. Probably he didn't win it. It was probably Van Persie or something. I don't
know. I can't even remember. I'll be honest. I don't even know if
do you know what? Do you know whilst we're having this chat, right? I'm just going to quickly Google that because that's got me interested now. But
see, this is the fact that you're Googling it goes to prove that Harry Kane needs to move to win trophies.
Yeah.
Because people out there, other than Tottenham fans, are not going to remember the times when he won Golden Boot. Just like you said for Henry, you can remember your Henry favourite play, etc. So on. Same for me for Didier's and so on. But at the same time, is like, Didier scored this many goals for us. Lampard did this for us.
It was Thierry. Sorry, it was Thierry.
It was Thierry, yeah.
He didn't even come close to winning the league. So.
Exactly. So it just goes to show, man, it was one of those things that you just think to yourself, like, who cares for that? So yeah, for me, Harry Kane needs to be selfish right now. And obviously, of course, he will be listening, so there's no point even saying, Harry, if you're listening, shout out to Harry. We appreciate the support.
In everyone's ears right now.
Yeah, thank you for letting us your ear holes. But for me, he needs to leave. And I'll be honest with you, he needs to leave just to... I think Sonny's going
to go at the end of the season or potentially January or something because you can't blame him. And no one would actually blame him at all. Not even
I think they need an overhaul. I don't care about Tottenham, but just as a neutral, looking at the football team, I think they need the full squad taken out.
Just look, like we said,
and strip a brand new one.
I don't even want to look through the lineup because it's going to get me vexed because some of them play for England. So I'm not going to.
Well, the problem is, like, literally, just look at the centre back and come down up the spine of that team. Okay, Harry Kane up top, but then you look at like Højbjerg, okay, so on. Okay, not too bad. Skip back in there, like, come on.
The guy who
Eric
was
Dyer and Romero.
Yeah, the guy who was chosen
over the goal against Chelsea.
Yeah, well, no. I was going to say actually.
Okay.
Do you remember that? When they played the North London derby, there was that combined 11 and Skip was in the middle but Partey wasn't or something like that. It was Sky Sports. I think I sent this in the group and I'll resend it to you again now. It was Sky Sports at the top and I was thinking they have to just do this.
Surely that was for clicks. That's for clicks. That's for clicks. Yeah, that's clickbait. Yeah. That is clickbait for people to start talking about it. There is no way Skip gets ahead of Partey, ahead of Elneny for me as well, by the way. I'm not even going to lie. Elneny's not even playing and I wouldn't put Skip ahead of him.
This conversation, I think listeners have switched off now because we're having this conversation.
Yeah, we're going off for Spurs. Yeah, no, let's bring it back. But yeah.
Disappointing, again, disappointing if you're a Spurs fan, standard, because you could have had that. You could have had that one, but yeah, it's Spursian way. So
I'm happy for James Prowse get another goal, save his team again. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It's been very.
I could see him at a top 6 team. You know, like I think he's a great squad player, James Prowse, to be on.
I was just about to say,
he's a fantastic little baller. Like maybe top 6 is a slight stretch to play week in week out, but a team like Tottenham. He'll be very good at a team like Tottenham, especially with Højbjerg. Not giving you Tottenham fans or Tottenham players any managers any ideas, but look, if James Prowse, if Southampton go down, he's a cheap player. Go buy him.
That's a good player.
You keep Ward-Prowse in there. The crosses that he can deliver and the picking of the ball. Keep Højbjerg as your defensive midfielder. Give Prowse a bit more freedom. He's there, man. You've got to do it. A Brentford, a Fulham,
like a Leicester, or something like that.
Like a Leicester. He would shine. He would shine. But
look, in terms of Premier League, I think I don't really have anything else. I mean, Unai Emery won again, so that's pretty good. He transformed Villa from what they were with
11th
from Gerrard. So yeah, but the other ones.
Can I just say something about it? While you're on the Villa one quickly, you can tell, can't you, when a manager with experience comes in to a manager who lacks the experience and is just like some hypeness, like, you know, with Lampard at Everton when he kept them up in the league, you're like, oh yeah, Lampard, yeah, and then all of a sudden his lack of experience comes into play. Daesh comes in, makes it quite solid on the back, changes a lot of things.
Same with Gerrard. Five-time winner is a five-time
exactly of Europa League, isn't he? Yeah,
he's got European
top manager. Yeah. And him compared to Gerrard as well. I know some fans are like, "Oh, why is he coming in? He failed at Arsenal. He's a blah, 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 blah." Like, this is why he comes in. He'll put stability in your team and he'll get you points. Because Gerrard was like, they were about religation, weren't they, this year? That's why Gerrard got the sack. They were like towards the bottom, and now they're mid-table. They're on the same points as Chelsea.
Honestly, he's transformed that team. He really has. And like I said, you know, he's a five-time winner of the Europa League. And can I just say, in the last interesting fact, I guess, in the last three managers that we've had, he's the only one with European winning experience. So and that we're talking about Wenger in there as well. So
wow,
he's a good manager for these types of teams. But I think, you know, when we saw PSG, we saw with Arsenal that he wasn't at the elite level.
Yeah,
he's still like you said, you know, instead of using what's his name now, Big Sam as the relegation manager, you can
survival expert. Yeah,
you can use Unai Emery. He comes
bring good evening in.
Yeah. He's in the same category as Sean Dyche, but better. More attacking, a bit more flair about him. So which is good to see. Real quick on the FA Cup, by the way. Man City won 6-0. Our predictions, just because
I was hoping they get beat. I was hoping Vincent Kompany will do all right, but yeah, City winning.
I went 2-1 Man City, 2-1 Burnley. You went 2-1 Burnley as well, so we were.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. But clearly, to be fair, I thought he's not going to put a strong team out. But then again, I was wrong. Like, you saw the team that City put out, especially attacking force.
He's on for a treble.
He's on, yeah.
He's on for a treble. To be fair,
that's respect to Guardiola for respecting each competition. He just goes in.
I agree. I think he sacrificed Carabao Cup, and honestly, I think he's going for that treble because he's got the main three right there, just within reach. Even the league. Obviously, I know we're 8 points.
Of course, I hear what you're saying.
So, you know, it's...
Well, a game in hand, and, you know, Arsenal have still got very tough fixtures.
Yes, and I'd rather have...
Away to Anfield, who Liverpool seem to have...
Let's talk about that after the international break.
Yeah, but again, what players you bring back, that's the main thing, isn't it?
No, I think it's going to be tough. Obviously, I'd rather have the points than a game in hand. But,
of course, all day, every day.
All day, every day. So that's the good thing. But do you have anything else to add, by the way, on the football this weekend?
No, nothing much. That's pretty much it. For me, it was just disappointing as a Chelsea fan, but obviously watching the highlights on Match of the Day from all the other teams, I was like, these been some tremendous games out there, and some great goals as well, by the way. Like, great goals from everybody. There was some top goals scored. I don't think any team had a 0 this weekend, has it? Each team has scored this weekend. I think that's the first time in a long time. Did anybody win 1-0, 2-0?
Let me give you...
I don't think there were any 0-0 draws. There were 1-1 draws. I think Leicester Brentford drew. Nottingham Forest, Newcastle.
No, Villa won 3-0.
Both teams scored. Villa won 3-0. Who let us down?
Bournemouth, obviously. Bournemouth let us down. So that wasn't.
But other than that, like, you know, there was goals galore.
Goals galore. Yeah, no, it was a good weekend to watch. But there was a lot to talk about, especially with obviously, you know, the whole Conte thing as well, which was hilarious. But I don't have anything else to add on the football. So.
Let's jump on this flight
we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back with some roundup on the F1. Yes, we are back. Right, Rick, did you watch any of the F1 at all?
I watched a little bit of the qualifying again, highlights. I didn't because, like I said, it was a really busy weekend. It felt such a short weekend. I had a lot to do, and especially with Mother's Day on,
Yes.
I was very busy.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Yeah.
But really busy weekend for me, to be fair. But yeah, I caught highlights. I caught the highlights of it.
Yes.
The question is, bro, like I know you put it on chat as well, what is Ferrari playing at? I saw the bit where safety car was out, Leclerc hadn't been told that Hamilton's in the pits, and then he goes, copy, like whatever his name was, the guy who's race engineer, and then he's like, I know, but come on, as in like,
Javi
get better.
Javi called him. Javi.
Yeah, Javi, whatever his name was, and he was like, come on, like, it's not, and it's clearly not good enough, like little things like that is just wow.
I can't shake my head enough without it hurting, by the way, like just when you mention of Ferrari. But like you said, let's talk the Red Bulls first.
Red Bull first, like Checo obviously.
Won the race.
I'll be honest with you, I did think he was going to lose once I saw Alonso pick up that pace. I thought Alonso's going to like sort of manage this race here. Obviously, he doesn't have the fastest car, but what was it about? Like, was he too far ahead, or what had gone on? Why did he get a 5-second penalty?
He got the initial 5 second because on the starting grid, his left wheel was over the squared.
The square line.
His left wheel was over that line, and that's forbidden. Like, you can't do that because
it's an unfair advantage. Of course.
And I know, obviously, for non F1 fans, they'll be like, it was only millimeters. With millimeters and meters and miles.
Go Dom Toretto.
Yeah, go watch Fast and
Don't say family though. Don't say family. Just say you win by a mile. Or
why does this guy get low when he says family? By the way, at first he was like family and all this, and I was like, family. What?
I don't know.
He's saying Dom. I'm there.
Hit puberty.
No, you're not Batman. Stop this. No, So look, Red Bulls, Checo. I was very happy. Again, I had my doubts. I thought if he's going to be up front, Max is going to obviously make his way through the field.
I literally thought that
it's going to happen, but they already slowed Max down, I feel, before he made his way through everyone. I think they already had that conversation with him, just be like, look, he's got good pace up there, he's going to maintain it, and if the worst happens where, Max is getting faster, they would have changed the cars, no doubt, because they wouldn't have risked that 1-2 because Russell, Alonso, Hamilton, they were right behind them. So in that case, obviously they didn't finish that close, but in that case they would have done so.
I think for that on like changing the drivers around, I think just let them race. I'll be honest with you, like I know they're not going to risk it because obviously what happened in the past with Vettel and Webber and other racing drivers,
Nico and
teammates,
Lewis.
Nico and Lewis. Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. But, as a fan who's watching racing, you just want to see racing. You don't want to see racing between Red Bull and Ferrari. You just want to see racing between the drivers, the cars that are on the grid. And at the end of the day, you never want Checo to... Again, this is like me saying who sits here at home doing this podcast with you, but I'm sure if I was making 25 million a year as well, I'd be like, of course, Christian, I will move over. Max, please take over. But in reality, you think this exactly.
Team orders. Your boss is telling you what to do, and
you tells you what to do. You just go on. But again, comes back to individual accolades on this one because it's F1.
Yeah,
everybody's going to remember Max Verstappen. You want to be remembered too as well, and give your country something to cheer about. It'd be like, no, like if he wants to go first, let him beat me first. Like I'm going to keep racing as well.
Yeah,
but then that's the risk of nobody finishing first as a team, and you have to manage that. So
I think Verstappen was, I think he was quite understanding in this race, which is good to see because I feel like in other races he would have just battled it out, and it kind of, I don't want to say clearly shows, but it does show that maybe the cars are closer to each other than we initially think.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, a counter argument could be made. It's like, look, if Checo gets pole, he's going to go and win this race, or that's what we're going to let him do.
We are, yeah.
And obviously, Max starting from 15th, it just didn't help his, So obviously, he made his way through the field, no problem. By the way, like he had no issues against anyone.
Yeah, I saw the way he was just breezing past them. Yeah, just breeze it
straight through.
It felt like an East Londoner diverting in and out of traffic. That doesn't mean anything to you, but some of the listeners who are from East London listen to this. East London boy races on that A13, left and right, just weaving in and out.
Yeah, Fast and Furious again. Go see Dom Toretto for what we're talking about.
Yeah, there's another family.
Family. No, I got my family. So Red Bulls, did what they did. It was standard. Max got the fastest lap in the end. He really fought for that. He really fought for that though, because they were like, who's got the fastest lap? Engineers were like, oh, don't worry about that. We're not worried about that. Max was like, I am, and then literally just got the fastest lap in the last lap of the race. So
wow,
yeah, he's a competitor. again, I said this in the last pod. I'm not really a big fan, but I don't know why. I'm watching a guy.
The thing is because he's winning all the time.
Yeah.
It's because he wins all the time, and that's when you start to hate him. And I think I got through a phase for me as well. Listen, I like Lewis Hamilton a lot, but when he won 7-time world champion, I was like, I want someone else to win. I can't stand this guy. And sometimes I psychologically and subconsciously start picking flaws with the way he communicates or little things pick out. Then all of a sudden you try to make a big deal out of them. And it's same for Max. Like sometimes you're like that time when he said, what was it? Like he didn't let Checo go in front, or Checo had to let him go in front, and then he came out saying, "I'm not going to talk about this. We'll talk behind the lines." Like sort of like stone cold. And I was thinking, like, what a prick.
That was some villainous stuff. That was some villainous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that was. It's
you're right. Why hate Max when he's just competing? He just wants to win and be the best in the world. So yeah,
he's not cheating. None of that. So that they've got the best car on the grid. It's without a shadow of a doubt. And qualifying showed that. Free practice showed that. The race showed that as well.
And I think it helps as well. Like,
on the bounce, so. The
driver quality is there as well. Of course, you've got to have it, but Lewis Hamilton cannot be like so bad. So it's a lot for me. What I'm trying to say is like a lot is based on the car as well.
Yeah,
like the amount of money you can invest on the car, because it shows. Like, look, when Mercedes were the fastest and there was no spending cap, they were the best team in the world.
Yeah.
And
they had all the money behind them.
They had all the money behind them, etc. And now that there's a spending cap, and Red Bull obviously are doing better at it,
it's like it used to.
You think, hold on a minute, is Lewis really that bad? Is Lewis this bad of a driver? It's not. It's just the car.
The car, yeah.
It's either not handling well or it's not the fastest on the straight line.
In this race, Hamilton started off on hards and then he switched to mediums. And once he switched to mediums, by the way, he was tearing it up. Like, obviously he took the Ferraris. He took. I saw
the way he took the way he took Sainz as well. Kind of let him drift wide. Thinking like Sainz went defensive mode. And I thought Lewis Hamilton was going to get a better better exit from the corner, and he clearly did. He just went past Sainz. He wasn't there.
It was the medium tires, and obviously we'll get to Ferrari real quick. But Russell as well. He ended up third in the end because obviously Alonso got a 10-second penalty.
10.
So he got the 5-second penalty initially for the grid, and then
he did that inside the safety car, did he not? Yeah,
he went in the pits. But one of the mechanics, he had his the little trolley that they pull up.
Yeah,
he had that touching the car, and that's against the rules because remember 2 weeks ago when Ocon got the same penalty grid. The wrong timing of touching of the car. He got the 10 seconds and then he got a 15-second one afterwards. But Alonso only ended on the 10 seconds this time. So because the mechanic had that had the jack. So the jack behind touching the car. So
so that's cost Alonso a podium there.
Cost him a podium, yeah. I mean, even though he celebrated, but we found out the answer afterwards. So sometimes I'm thinking it's like VAR, isn't it? You celebrate. Just take a moment.
That's slightly worse though, because you're literally champagne popping at the top there, taking that miniature trophy, which is like the smallest one out of the three, and then you're still cheering though because you're looking down at everybody else and saying like, flipping them the birdie saying yes I'm up here, and then all of a sudden gets taken away from you. So that's slightly worse I think because VARs are like within minutes you're like, sorry lads, offside.
So, unless you're Richarlison and then you run around the pitch taking your top off thinking you've scored, and then it's like,
quality,
and you got to yellow card.
Again, could not happen to a better bloke.
Cannot stop laughing at Richarlison. It's hilarious. But anyway, so Russell third. He had a decent drive, nothing too spectacular. He was worried about Hamilton behind. He had the pace to keep in front. Again, Hamilton obviously struggled with the hard tyres at the beginning, but he's a champion. He's gonna battle it out. And then when you've got a team like Ferrari that you need to overtake, apparently they're just ghosting out here.
Just goes easy.
They were lucky. They were lucky to be ahead of Ocon and Gasly in the Alpine. That's how
really
weak,
that bad.
That's how weak Ferrari were. I mean, obviously you heard that the radio with the engineer.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I could not believe that.
Was it on Friday? I said to you that the engineer he did exactly the same thing where he was trying to overtake or something.
Yeah. And he said somebody's in front of you, and he's I need to know that sooner.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you need to tell me that sooner. So I told you, as soon as that happened, I had absolutely.
Is he a new race engineer? What was going on? Who is this guy? Like, because obviously you follow Ferrari. Is he new? Was he there last year? Like, how is he so bad this year?
Last year, I think the problem is from the race. I think director or
race control.
Race technical director for Ferrari. Laurent.
Is that the new guy who took over the other guy?
No. Fred Vasseur. He's the principal of of
the team,
Ferrari, of
team
the
principal, okay.
The race engineer, the race director is the guy who sits next to him. It's called Laurent Miekis or something. I don't think I want to say that right. Miekis, and I think he is the problem, to be fair, because he's not getting them calls right, man. The strategies that he's pulling, they're just not right at all. Like, they started Charles Leclerc, obviously started 12th. We started him on the softs, which is great, because obviously he made his way through the field. But a little bit of unlucky here as well, because the safety car came out literally a lap too late, because Charles went in, changed his tyres to hards, obviously to maintain the rest of the race. A lap later, safety car came out. Lance Stroll.
So they couldn't even get any heat on those tyres, could you?
Nothing.
Not while it's on the safety car.
No, ever since then. I mean, look, I'd say bad Ferrari strategy, but at the same time,
no, you can't. That's unlucky, because you have to go soft to start with in order to make your way through the field.
I'm not saying there's no blame to put on Ferrari here, but that was just unlucky, really.
That's unlucky. No, that's unlucky. The blame on Ferrari is to produce a better car for me. I think whatever's going on there, they need to produce faster cars, especially where they were last year.
I think they've sort of committed a bit too much on the aerodynamics again, and them straight line speeds are not doing it. Like, they're just not keeping up with the Red Bulls. The car itself, even the aerodynamics, don't seem to be working that well, because the tyres are getting nothing on them. They're just nothing. The traction of it's just not happening. And throughout practice, they did amazing on the hard tyres. And then you think back and say, well, look, that was daytime. The track is hot. Track is 42 degrees. Them hard tyres are going to become soft tyres real quick. But at night time, you need to think about the mediums, and that was the problem. Lewis Hamilton went from hard to mediums. He just smashed through the field, and the car had a lot of traction. Obviously, Mercedes have got their own problems, but in terms of tyre management and making the correct call,
that lies with the guys above, though, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely does.
Again, that's like...
To be fair to Fred Vasseur, he came out and he said, he admitted that there was some problems going on, unlike Binotto before, where he was like, no, everything's fine. Nothing happening here, just my hair on fire, but, it's all good. So at least he came out and admitted that there was some issues that they were having, problems with the team and stuff, like these types of calls with the strategy.
No. One thing I am sad for Ferrari, though, is sacking the team principal, because I really liked him when he used to do the Drive to Survive for Netflix.
Yes.
You could tell he can speak perfect English, because he spoke to the other team principals. But every time he got interviewed, everything was in Italian. I was watching with my wife, and she's like, why is he speaking Italian? Like, we can tell he speaks English. We know he speaks perfect English.
Even the French don't speak French in that show. Like, they speak English.
They were talking,
but it's the Italians.
Or the Germans, or any of them. Where's the Italians? Just so stubborn, like, now I'm going to speak Italian.
Yeah. It's
like, bro,
maybe he can express himself a little bit better, or like, no, there's no culpability. It's like, oh, no, they translated that wrong. I don't know, maybe something like that.
Gunther didn't even try. Gunther probably speaks 7-8 languages, the guy. Like, he was fluent in Italian, he was fluent. Yeah, I love Gunther. Anyway, I've mentioned my love for Gunther. But how did Haas do?
Magnussen actually managed to get 10th, so he got a point for the team.
Fantastic.
I'm happy about that. That's not bad. But the driver that I am more than happy about is Tsunoda. He slapped De Vries. He ended up 11th, De Vries in 14th. So no points for any of them. But
but at least he finished in first. He's the driver. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. The better driver of the two.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know why we don't like De Vries, go check out the other episodes. I'm sure
go back 3-4 episodes and you'll be on it.
We've talked about this. And last thing I want to say on the race, by the way, McLaren, just, apart from maybe Piastri, who sort of saved it, because at the beginning, like during the start of the race, he had his front wing clipped.
Yeah,
he had something broken. Obviously, he lost a bit of time, but he managed to obviously bring it back. However, during the last maybe 5 laps of the race, it was Piastri behind Norris, and they told Norris on the radio, they were like, "Don't make it too hard for Piastri." They said this. It was on the radio, and I could not believe it. Now, however, I will make it.
What does that even mean? Don't make it too hard for him.
As in, like, make way for him. Yeah, he's
slow down.
Yeah, he's going to
move all the way.
Exactly.
Move over.
Now, the only reason I think they've done that is because during free practice and qualifying, they weren't at the best. There was something wrong with that McLaren. Like, there's 100% something wrong going on there in the car. The development hasn't been right. So I feel like Norris's car maybe had some experimental sort of bits to it. Again, small things, or maybe just on a different strategy, because they knew that the car wasn't going to be strong enough to fight for the midfield, for the top 10. So maybe Piastri just, got used to his machinery a little bit more, had a little bit more pace. who knows? It's not going on. It's not good at McLaren right now. It just isn't.
No, it's not good. I mentioned in the previous episode as well. Like, I blame the team principal for this. I think there should be a change at the top because you can't have 3 seasons where you kind of some of the worst teams in the midfield.
It just clearly shows that Daniel Ricciardo was not the problem, to be fair.
No, Ricciardo was never the problem. You can't have Ricciardo as a problem.
Mistake,
when he was in the Red Bull car, like you saw what he did. If he was in a better car, you could see what he did.
In better machinery, even in the Alpine, which were better during that season when he was with Alpine, they were better than the McLaren. Just about there. But obviously, he went to McLaren because of the history, and you can't blame
the history and the better company cars rather than having an Alpine. He probably thought, I'm going to drive around in like a 720 here.
But is that chocolate bar or something? What is that?
Yeah, exactly. Does it have nuts?
You best believe it's got nuts.
I'm allergic to nuts, man. I got a nut allergy.
It's like a rocky road. That's what it is. An Alpine bar. It's like a rocky road. It's a breakfast bar. Sorry, Alpine is actually a thing. It's a breakfast bar.
It is. It's a breakfast bar. Yeah, the cereal bars.
Cereal bars. That's it. But yeah, it was a good race for most, like for the midfield. There was some nice battles going on. But overall, Red Bull's just.
What I really liked as well in the midfield was the Alpines battling out. The Alpines are the two big cars, aren't they? I really liked that. There was a lot of respect between the two, but they were still going at it. And again, it kind of comes back to the questions, or like what I meant, not so much of a question, but the statement I said earlier was, I'd like to see races although from the same team. Just race.
It's just obviously
race, but race fairly.
The thing is, it's a risk because if they race fairly, for example, just a quick example, like they hit the curb, one of them hits the curb wrong, but the other one, they're sort of respecting each other's spaces.
Yeah.
One of them hits the curb. That's potentially 2 cars.
You take 2 cars, of course, and that's
a risk.
Millions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds trying to fix those 2 cars. I get that, and that's a very high risk with Max. If Max is racing against anybody, you know what he's like. He gives you little to no room.
He hasn't done that for the last couple, but last season anyway. He didn't do much.
That's because he's winning, though, mate. Like if he felt like he was chasing, like we saw what he did this previous season with Lewis Hamilton, like barely give him any room to any situations, then Hamilton would clip him and be like, "Well, that was my racing line. You got in the way." Like, you gave me no room. Not so much got in the way, but you gave me no room.
I still don't agree with that. That whole Silverstone situation where Max went flying into the wall like 140 miles an hour. This was not last season, season before.
Yeah.
I still don't agree with the fact that it was Hamilton's fault. I don't think
never Lewis Hamilton's fault at all. I don't agree.
His hands were always going right.
His hands were turning. He was close to the curb, and then Max just decided to try and squeeze him out. Obviously, he's like, "Well, I'm not going to get squeezed out here. I'm not going to come off it to avoid a crash." If you're looking to make that decision, I believe you've considered all variables. If you're going to make that decision, I'm going to stick to here what I'm doing. So
that was compounded by Monza later on in that season where Max just landed on top of Lewis Hamilton.
This is what I mean. Max will do that. Like at the minute, because he's winning and he's a golden boy and so on and so forth, because he's a world champion, he's fine. But as soon as his back hits the fire and his little bomb in that seat gets really hot and thinks, actually, I'm not going to win, he will start pulling these tactics of trying to squeeze drivers out of space.
I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that.
It's not going to happen this year. No.
Maybe against him
unless they find something possibly, because there's a break in mid-season, isn't there? So where they'll do something else, hopefully they'll find something. So we'll see. We'll
definitely see. No, I think it was a decent race. I genuinely love this track. By the way, it's just such high speeds, and looking at through the driver visor, it was
that was such a great shot, isn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. So
Sky Sports did that really well, especially having a camera there very, very well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Real quick before we leave, when is the next race? I think it's Australia, but when is it? 31st, so it's in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, 2 weeks' time we're going to Australia, and I actually look forward to that because Australia was obviously the historic first race, wasn't it?
First race, the starter.
As far as I can remember, anyway. As far as my history goes. But and I think Max and Checo, if they carry on like this, 1-2s, it's going to be like that season where Barrichello and Schumacher were, they were winning the 1-2 constructors and the drivers as well. So it should be a decent season if Red Bull don't dominate as much as they have. If they do, then it's just going to be a boring season. When Red Bull were winning in, was it 10, 11, 12, 13? So
and then
Vettel was around. So
Now, I hope it doesn't get into that because that became quite boring to watch. Because then you're starting to look at the midfield, but people want to see challenges for the title, for the race. of course, for the championship, but that's what you want to see. But no, I'm with you on that one. I hope it's not going to become like that at all. But I'm just letting the listeners know, obviously, we know the Premier League is finished for taking a winter break. So I'm thinking of F1. But we will be back, I believe, on Wednesday. Larry, what are you thinking? So some predictions, possibly predict the England squad ready for Thursday. So Wednesday night, obviously, stay tuned. But you already like and follow.
Yeah, maybe a bit earlier of an episode, but we will be here.
We will be here with our predictions, and we think obviously we'll both be putting Harry Maguire in our starting 11.
Of course, but it's not because we want to.
The three of us will.
Yeah, it's not because
the two of us and Gareth.
Yeah, definitely. Right, good. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to leave it there for tonight, and we'll catch you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and good night, family.